from group 1. Here is my friend, my group mate, Mr. Shoikat. He will describe the introduction and purpose of this test. Today we will perform the moisture test of soil. Mr. Shoikat will describe the purpose and introduction. Then Mr. Asif Imtiaz will describe the standard reference of this test to be followed, and after that I will describe the significance of this test. Then Mr. Sharia will describe the apparatus and next first procedure of this test. Then Mr. Rani Majumdar and Mr. Rabru Manna will simultaneously describe the procedural rest, and finally Mr. Shojib will describe the data sheet and he will conclude. Now I will request Mr. Shoikat to perform this.
Good evening everyone. I am Shoikat, my ID number 608. Thanks to a lot of my honorable teacher Mr. Abdul Sir for giving me opportunity to say something. Today's my topic. Today's my topic is moisture content determination. First of all, I think this is the important. Everybody knows that of moisture content. Moisture content is a reference of the moisture amount of the moisture and materials of the amount. And materials of the amount this is purpose. This test is performed to determine the water content of soils. The water content is the ratio expressed as a percentage of the mass of pore or free water in a given mass of soil to the mass of the dry soil solids. Everybody knows that the water source of pond. Suppose this is pond is part of soil and part of water and part of air. So part of air, and this perform determined to water content of soils. We are perform determination water content soils and then water source of pond. The water content is the ratio expressed as a percentage to our determination of the water content. And for our free water given a mass of the soil to the mass of dry soil solids. Enter the moisture content, then give up of pore and free water to give up mass of soil and solid. In this time, I also requested my friend Asif Imtiaz to give respect of nicely as standard reference to our determination of topics moisture content.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Assalamualaikum. I am Asif. My ID is 02006607. Now my topic is standard reference about moisture content. The STM D2216 standard test method for laboratory determination of water moisture content of soil rock and soil aggregate mixture. STM, that means American Society of Testing Materials D2216. We know about soil, rock and soil aggregate moisture content, their water Now I invite my next candidate.
Assalamualaikum. I am Mohammad Kamlasan and my ID is CEN02006611. First of all, I am thanking my honorable teacher for giving me the opportunity to say something about this experiment. Especially, I am thanking my previous speakers for for their describing very nicely. They serially describe about the purpose and the standard reference of this test. Now I will describe about the significance of this test. First of all, why we do this test? We do this test to determine the moisture content of this moisture content of soil, and why we determine moisture content to identify the soil, how is it and how it behaves and its properties also. As it is shown in the first line, for many soil, the water content may be extremely important index used for establishing the relationship between the way a soil behaves and its properties. As I said at first, we perform this test to determine the soil's behavior and how it acts and how it behaves. We basically perform this test for our foundation purpose, for our building. The consistency of a fine-grained soil largely depends on its water content. Exactly, in soil's consistency depends on its moisture content. How is it permeable or not permeable? That's it. The water content is also used in expressing the phase relationship of water, air, water, and solids in a given volume of soil. We all know that there is in soil there is not only soil but also there is water and air also. By performing this test, we can also determine this also how much volume of air and water in soil sample. So this is the significance of consistency of cement. Consistency of soil. Now I will invite Mr. Sharia to say something about equipments and fast test procedure. Thank you everyone for having me patience.
At first, take my salam. Assalamu alaikum. Thanks, Abdul Aziz sir, for giving chance to talking about this experiment. Now I am talking about equipments of this experiment. Equipment is drying oven, balance, moisture can, gloves, spatula, and test procedure. Test procedure 1 number, record the moisture can and lid number. Determine and record the mass of empty. Clean and dry moisture can with its that M1. So this is test procedure. I will invite Ronnie Mojumdar next 2, 3 and 4 test procedure. He is talking about this experiment. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Ronnie Mojumdar. My ID is CN02006606. My topic test procedure 2 is place the moist soil in the moisture can and secure the lid. Determine and record the mass of the moisture can. Now contain the moist soil with the lid M2. Then collect this soil sample. After soil sample and from the study or from the field, the construction concentration site in the soil sample. Remove the lid and place the moisture contain the moist soil in the drying oven that is set at 105 degrees Celsius. Leave into the oven overnight. Thank you. My request to test period 2 and 3, my 4 and 5 and afternoon.
Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Marma. My ID is C and 02006610. Thank you so much, my dear honorable teacher. Now I am starting from step 4. Remove the moisture can carefully but securely. We have to take it the moisture can carefully but carefully, and we have to take the replace it and the lid to the moisture can. We have to using gloves. We have to take it. We have to protect it. And count it, and we have to take open measure. Now we have to determine the records, the mass of the moisture can and lid. Now we have to the moisture can and the clean and lid. Now I am requested to my friend Sajid.
Thank you very much, Dr. Marma. Now I describe about data analysis. Here M1 is the weight of lead and can. M1 is equal to lead plus can, weight of lead and can. Then we get the value of M2. M2 is equal to lead can plus weight water and soil. Then we get the M3. M3 is equal to lead can plus dry soil. So here we put this value in this formula. Determine the mass of soil solid. That means MS. If we suppose M1 is equal to 100 grams, then M2 is equal to, we get 122 grams, and M3 is equal to 120 grams. Then we put this value in this formula, we get the MS. That means soil of solids. M3 is equal to 120 minus 100 is equal to 20 grams. Then second, determine the mass of pure water. This formula we get the value of M. This formula is M2 minus M3. M2 minus M3. Then value of M2 is 122 minus 122 is equal to 2 grams. Then last, determine the water content. W is equal to mw divided by ms into 100%. Then we put this value in this formula. We can get the water content or moist content. mw is equal to 2 divided by ms is equal to 20 into 100%. Then we get 10% of moisture content of this soil sample. That is, thank you very much for enjoying our presentation and best of luck. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Good evening, everyone. We are the second team. Now we will explain the moisture content of this soil. Our team will explain the whole processor. So we will explain according to this area. So first of all, I would like to welcome our first speaker, Donishan.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Assalamualaikum everyone. Today's our topic, moisture content determination. How to determine moisture content of soil particle. Purpose. The test is performed to determine the water moisture content of soil. The water content is the ratio explained as a percentage of the mass of pore or free water in a given mass of soil to the mass of the dry soil solid. Now basically we have to find how much free water and how much dry soil. Our next performance. Ishan.
Peace be upon you. My name is Shagal Hussein. My ID is 6617. My topic, standard reference, STM D 2206 standard test method for determination of water content of soil, rock and soil aggregate mixtures. This is a helping standard test method.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Farjan Akhtar. My ID is CN026620. First of all, I like to thank my teacher to give me the opportunity, and thank to all of my friends. Today we will discuss about the experiment, the moisture content of soil. Previous my friend also described the purpose and standard reference. Now I describe about significance. For many soil, the water content may be an extremely important index used for establish the relationship between the way a soil behaves and its properties. It's really important for us to know the soil behavior because we have different types of soil. If we don't know how to find the water content, then we cannot able to acknowledge about the soil capacity, soil bearing capacity, and how many load he can available to carry. So it is really important for the water content to know the soil behavior. The consistency of fine grained soil largely depend on its water content. The consistency of fine grained soil is really depend on its water content. The water content is also used in expressing the phase relationship of air, water, and solid in a given volume of soil. In a given volume soil, we know the relationship. They have also relationship in air, water, and solid. That depends on with each other. Thank you to give me opportunity, and I would like to invite my group friend Shogatapur. Thanks.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Shogat Akbar. My ID is 619.
Today's our topic is moisture content determination, and I will discuss equipment and test procedure. Equipment. We needed some equipment for moisture content determination. Firstly, we need dry oven, balance, moisture can, gloves, spatula. Then test procedure. Number 1. Record the moisture can and lead number, determine and record the mass of empty, clean and dry moisture can with its lead. It's mean we take lead and can, it will be empty, clean and dry. Number 2. Place the moist soil in the moisture can and secure the lead. Determine and record the mass of the moisture can with the lead. And secondly, we take can and lead and some soil sample in the can and it's recorded. That's it. I invited the Shakawat Hussain to discuss another topic.
So, good evening everyone, I am Shakawat Hussain. My ID is 612. I would like to thank my honorable sir to give us opportunity to explain. So, our topic is moisture content. We can perform this test with STM and also IS code. If I wrote this IS code, 2270 part 2 1997. So we can also perform with this ASTM code and with also IS code, whichever is a reference to as our specification. So Mr. Shaukat already described the first two procedures. Then I will explain the third and fourth. So our third procedure is remove the lid and place the moisture can in the drying oven and place oven that is set at 105 degrees Celsius, leave it to the oven overnight. So we know that what we do, we have to firstly do that. We already taken the M1, the mass of our empty moisture can and the lid. Then we place. So as I explained before, already my friend Shaukat already described test 1 and test 2, and I will describe the other test. So our test is, third number test is remove the lid and place the moisture can in the drying oven that is set at 105 degrees Celsius, leave it to the oven overnight. Overnight means we can put it the whole night. So this is the purpose, so that we can take the moisture from our, we can take the absorb from our soil sample, what water can remove. For removing water, we basically do the oven dry process, because we already know that our soil, water content soil already in three-phase diagram. Here, water and soil. So our sample already in three-phase diagram, we can say it is partially saturated soil. So that's why we basically perform the oven dry process. Then remove the moisture can carefully. So we have to carefully remove the moisture can because it is already hot. The spot is already hot because we already over dry this can at 100 degrees Celsius for the overnight. That's why we have to remove the moisture can carefully. Then replace the lid on the moisture can using gloves. We have to wear the gloves because already our moisture can already is too much hot. Then allow it to cool at room temperature. Then we have to cool it room temperature at as much time as we want. So determine the record of the mass of the moisture can and the lid. So we have to basically we already put the lid again. Then we have to take the weight of the moisture can and the lid again. So it will be considered as M3. So number five procedure is empty the moisture can and clean the leaks. So after taking all the mass M1, M2, M3, we will clean the whole process. We will clean the moisture can and our leak. So I would like to welcome my friend Mr. Shubha Das explaining the data analysis.
Good evening, everyone. First, my namaskar to all of you, and I repeatedly thank you, my teacher, Mr. Abdulaziz sir, to give me a chance to the topics. Already, my blueprint is described to the topic is everyone that moisture constants determines purpose, standard reference, significance, equipment, test procedure. My topic is data analysis. What is the data analysis? Determine the mass of the solid, determine the mass of soil solid. What is the M3 and M1? The M1 is can plus lead. Can plus lead. The weight of can plus lead, and M3 is dry soil. Can plus lead. Suppose the M3 is equal to 120 minus M1 is equal to 100 is equal to 20. Determine the mass of pore water, MW. MW is equal to M3 minus M2. There is the M2 is soil in the moisture can be skewed the lead. Determine the record of the mass and the moisture, and now concerning the moist soil with the lead. There is the topic that determine the mass of pore water. MW is equal to M3 minus M2 minus M3. M2 is the total soil plus can plus lead, and M1 is the can plus lead. There is the formula is 120 minus 118 is equal to 2. There is a determinant of the water content. W is equal to MW by MS, moisture mass of solid soil, and divided by mass of pore water. Mass of water divided by mass of solid water into 100%. There is the value is 20 divided by 2 is equal to 10 into 100%. There is the specific number, moisture of lead number. The lead number is say suppose 10/4.7. Mass MPT clean and lead gram M1. The only for lead and can, not for soil. M2 is equal to mass of solid, lead and moist soil. M3 is equal to mass of can, lead and soil. M3 is equal to dry soil. MW is equal to mass of pore water, and W is equal to water content. Thank you, everyone.
I'm Shara Firdaus. Today we are going to discuss about experiment number 5, which will be moisture content determination. All of you must be wondering why we are still listening this while previous two groups already described about it. So I would like to tell you all of that we all will describe it in our own way. So please be patient and hear us. So first I would like to invite Rashid to start the experiment and describe us.
Hello everyone, Salam Alaikum. Thanks my honorable teacher give me an opportunity to say something about this topic. This topic is moisture content determined. Purpose. This test is performed to the determined water moisture content of soil to water content is the ratio expressed to the to a percent of the mass of the pure and free water in the given mass of soil to the mass of the dry soil. Basically, dry soil, how much dry soil and how much water in this purpose. Please welcome my friend is Rakibul Huda. Tell about this. So,
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Mr. Rashidul. First of all, I want to thank my honorable teacher to give me a chance to say about moisture content. My topic is standard reference. Standard reference ASTM, American Standard Testing Materials. Standard test method for laboratory determination of water. Signification. Moisture content signification is the most important because for many soil the water content may be an extremely important index because this moisture content use air and void ratio. The constant of a fine gradient soil and depends on its water content. The water content is also used the relationship in water and solid give volume of soil. Thank you. And I will request my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakibul Huda. First of all, Assalamu alaikum. My topic, equipment. Equipment, dry oven, balance, moisture can, glass, spatula. Test procedure. Record the moisture can and lead number. Determine and record the mass of empty, clean, dry moisture can with each lead. M1. M1 means mass of empty moisture can plus lead number. Test procedure 2. Place the moisture soil in the moisture can and secure the lid. Determine and record the mass of the moisture can with lid. M2. M2 means moisture soil plus moisture can plus lid number. Please carry on. Silence.
Thank you so much, Ifa, for giving me the opportunity again. As he previously described the first two text procedure, now I will start from procedure number 3. The number 3 procedure is remove the lid and place the moisture can in the drying oven that is set at 105 degrees centigrade. Leave it in the oven overnight. After completing the two procedures, we will put the moisture can with the while removing the lid and let it dry for in the oven at 105 centigrade, and we will let it dry for the overnight. And procedure number 4, remove the moisture can carefully but securely. We will remove the moisture can, but not very hastily. We will remove it very carefully and securely, not to damage it. Replace the lid on the moisture can using gloves and allow it to cool to room temperature. While we will remove it, it will be very hot to carry on the procedure. So we will let it dry, let it cool, and which will be the room temperature. It will be not very cool and not very hot. It will be the natural temperature. Determine and record the mass of the moisture can and bite M3. As the previous procedure, which will already get M1 and M2. So the content we will get from this procedure, it will be M3. And after completing all the procedure, we will get number 5, which will be the empty the moisture can and clean the can and bit. Completing all of it, we will empty the moisture can and clean the bit. Next, I would like to invite Hassan Rani to describe the next procedures.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Muhammad Hassan Rani. My ID is 634. First of all, thank you, my honorable teacher, to give me this opportunity. Now come to the point of data analysis. In this experiment, our main purpose is water content. So here there is some equation known as determine the mass of soil solid. Here Ms equal to M3 minus M1. Ms is soil solid and there is M3 is total dry solid and M1 is only the empty moisture can and lid. Now come to the point 2. Determine the mass of pore water. Here the equation is Mw equal M2 minus M3. Here Mw is the pore water and M2 is the total number of sample and moisture can and lid, and number 3 is only dry soil. And now come to the point 3. Determine the water content. Here the equation is W equal Mw divided by Ms into 100%. Here Mw is the pore water and Ms equal soil solid into 100. That is our main purpose. Now I would like to invite my friend Mr. Sam Mustafa to continue this experiment. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Saya Mustafa. My ID is CN02006646. Thank you, my friend Hassan Roni. He explained data analysis, and thank to my all team members. At the time, I explained data sheet. This data sheet explained by through data analysis. First of all, I specified a number M1 and mass of M3 clean and can translate M2 mass of can lead and moist soil. I think this procedure would be done memorious. This is the Husus technique. M1, MS is equal to M1 minus M2. With this equation, follow. This procedure we mentioned system. Can lead this soil. MS equal to M3 that is soil. M3 M1. M3 minus M1 will just will find MS soil. The next time determine the mass of pore used water. And moisture. Dry soil, after dry soil and moisture difference, we find how much water this soil and 3 minus M2. That's fine. That's fine. MW into MS into 100%. First of all, we will maintain equation can plus lead. We are divided by ms is equal to soil. Thank you for everyone continuing our presentation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum to everyone. Today our topic is moisture content determination. So when we hold this experiment presented with my whole team, the first I would like to start this presentation. Firstly, I thanks to Almighty Allah and our honorable teacher to giving me this stage to perform my presentation. My topic is moisture content determination. Purpose. This test is performed to determine the water content of soils. The water content is the ratio space. Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone. I am Muhammad Salam Kimu. My ID is last three digits 647. My topic is water content, determine water content. First topic is purpose. This test is performed to determine the water content of soils. Here we look at this. By this experiment, we find how much free soil of this sample and how much dry soil we have. Then the water content is the ratio space as a percentage of the mass of pore or free water in a given mass of soil to the mass of the dry soil solid. We look at this here. The water content is the ratio. The component of pore water, total pore water. And ratio divided by mass of the dry soil solid. So by this title we find this calculation water content. If we let water content is W equals to total free water total free water divided by total mass of solid. So we look at this here express as percentage. We should note this point. For this we multiply the 100%. We need this. Then we find the value by percent. Then our next topic is standard reference STM D2216. A standard test method for laboratory determined for of water content of soil, rock, and soil aggregate mixtures. So we for this when we do this experiment, we need reference. So here we look at this STM D2216 is the reference. Here STM full form is American Social Testing for Testing Materials. Now I would like to call on this stage my friend Rudro to continue this presentation.
Assalamualaikum. I am Sajjad Hasan. My ID is CEN02006649. At first, thanks to my Allah and also thanks to my honorable teacher Abdul Aziz sir for giving me a chance to say something in this topic. Our topic is moisture content determination. My topic is significance. Significance means why the moisture content determination is important. Now I am explaining. For many soils, the water content is important index to establish the relationship between soil behavior and its properties. So in many different soil, there are many react to and act in these soils. In these soils, we also know the to establish a structure, we also know the moisture content, because we know when the load is come to the structure, then the soil wants to passing is and reduce his water content. So we need to know the water content to test the soil. Basically, the water content. We know the easily the soil behave and its real properties. There are two types of soil, coarse grain soil and fine grain soil. For the fine grain soil, it largely depends the consistency for the moisture content. The pressure relationship between water, air and solid in a given soil, we know by the moisture content. Now I say something about test procedure, which equipment are needed. Equipment, one is drying oven. Which drying oven means where the samples are drying. Next is balance. Balance means sample weight and things is called balance. And moisture can gloves and spatula. Thank you. And now I also invite my friend Nasrul Islam.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thanks to my honorable teacher for giving me this opportunity, and thanks to my fellow friend for inviting me. I am continuing from the test procedure. Number 1 is record the moisture and lead number. We know there is a number given on the body of the can and the lead, so we record it. Then determine and record the mass of empty, clean, dry moisture can and its lead. So then we, with the balance, we weight the empty moisture can and its lead. Then we record it, which is denoted by M1. Then in the procedure number 2, place the moist soil in the mixture can and secure the lid. From the sample we get the saturated soil, which is denoted here by moist soil. We place it in the can and secure it with the lid. Then determine and record the mass of the moisture can. Then we again with the balance we take the measure and record it, now containing the moist soil, and with the lid also, which is denoted by M2. Then in the third, we remove the lid and place the moisture can in the drying oven at 105 degrees Celsius. Then, so from here we can say that we have to remove the remove the lid from the moisture can, and then we have to put it on the drying oven, which is set at 105 degrees Celsius. Then leave it in the oven for overnight. So we have to heat it at 105 degrees Celsius for a whole night. Now I am inviting my friend Ainul Haq to continue the procedure from the number 4.
Assalamu alaikum. I am MD Ainul Haq. My ID is CN02006659. First of all, thank you my honorable teacher to say something about the moisture content. Test procedure step 4. Remove the moisture can carefully but securely. Replace the height of the moisture can using gloves and allow it to cool to room temperature. We have to remove the moisture can carefully and securely, because don't damage. Replace the replace the lid on the moisture can using gloves, because all equipments are too hot, and all equipments to cool on room temperature. Determine and record the mass of moisture can and lid containing the dry soil M2. Now we determine and record the weight of M2, M3. Empty the moisture can and clean the can and lid. We have we clean the moisture can and we clean away the moisture can and lid. Thank you thanks to all, and I invited my friend Arjana Hogg to say something about data analysis.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Farjana Hogg. My ID is CN02006651. Today our topic is moisture content determination. And I will describe the data analysis. Determine the mass of solid solids. Ms equal M3 minus M1. There M3 we get from the procedure 4. The M3 means here M3 is dry soil plus moisture can plus lead. There the M1 is empty moisture can plus lead. The second is determine the mass of pore water. This is MW. MW equal M3 minus M2. M2 equal there the M2 we get from the procedure 2. The M2 is moist soil plus can plus lead. And the determination of water content is W divided by MW by MS into 100%. There MW is the mass of soil solid and the MS is mass of pore water. Then data analysis from the value we put on the data sheet, and our data sheet will be complete. Thank you everyone.